Hi. Today we are starting a new series about React, and my video will be introduction, so all the details about using will be recorded by Svetlana, but I would like to start it with explanation why. So why having Angular experience, it's probably 1.5 years, and creating like many large projects, I mean relatively large, I would say large to medium project, we decided to try something else. And like, first of all, a disclaimer that I'm not going to support discussion what is better and what is worse. It depends, and I think that it has to be technology independent, and it depends on the project. But from our point of view, I guess that we discovered pretty important Angular 1, and they unfortunately brought this Angular disadvantage to Angular 2 with some promises to fix it, but they still do not pay attention that should be put to the important questions that is covered by React. So the first, and I'm not sure, there are two reasons. It's very hard to rank for me right now, but Angular suffers from lack of server-side rendering. So what does it mean? We have a whole series tutorial on channel about server-side rendering from Angular, and well, everything, and it's better to show on the, it's not on this, maybe on this website. So it just, or because I can turn off a switch user agent. So just a brief reminder that when you load it, everything, all the content is rendered by JavaScript. So for a search engine, it's completely invisible. So if I turn off, for example, if I'm just pretending that I'm Googlebot and reload this page, that you can see that this is closed, but this is application which will be indexed by search engine, and this is the main disadvantage of Angular, that they do not put enough attention, enough development. So for example, they just created a perfect animation library, and everything is great, is this config, display, and services, and million of directives they create. But let's ask the first question, like, why you create a website? Probably most of the website are created for reaching some goals, and reaching some goals, it means that you need users. You need users in order they come to your website. And it's possible to do like advertisement and pay click, but especially for startups, and I would say 80% of the website, they start like a startup. So there is very rare that you have large and profitable business, and then you are creating a website which already come to the great soil, and you don't need everybody knows you. It's usually another way around, and it is nice. It should be search engine optimized, so it has to be indexed in order users can find you over search engine, Google, Bing, or and many others. And Angular out of the box doesn't provide this functionality. And yeah, you can. It's like when, especially if you start with Angular, you do not recognize this issue only when you start like finishing the website, and now it is must for every website. It is required to have a social rendering. And when you are just coming to Facebook and clicking on the URL debugger, well, you see the empty page, and these disadvantages became for real website and became pretty annoying. For example, for our recent website, this is Angular version, and I will show you the version that will be visible for both. In other words, you create your website twice. One of them you create for Angular and do all this great user experience, and there is no question that it is provided all this span. It's single page application, sorry. And everything is fine, but then you need to create it again, and it's not possible to use the same code. Almost it's the same language, but still working in Express and working in Angular, it's two different beasts. And you can see all the details, so we explain it in details how it needs to be done, and all this painful way when you create Angular application, you publish it, and that's a small problem. and I describe it in details this way. But this problem can be alleviated. Yeah, it needs for you additional development time, and like in this case, I would say so after we finish it with Angular, it was done by Svetlana, but it took about 4 days minimum. So it extends your development time, and well, it's not right, because you duplicate yourself, and it just creates a lot of issues. And in my opinion, this is like animation, something like services, like material design. It's all secondary. If you don't have server-side rendering, that's it. Despite the fact that you control that, look, I created this website, it's responsive, it's wonderful, it can be open, well, you're not reaching your goals. And this is probably the reason number one why we decided to try React. But still, like I said, this problem can be alleviated by duplicating your website in server side. But there is another problem that cannot be solved with Angular. It's not possible to do. And like if you develop a single page application, you know that, for example, I'm on the it loads from the real website, but I'm on my desktop and I have a fast internet connection. But if I emulate and if I throttle and if I disable cache and if I pretend that I'm accessing this website first time from very slow 2G connection or 3G even, when I open this page I need to wait at least for this website it was a little bit, I would say 8 seconds, and for nowadays it's too long, so the user will just go to another website. What happens behind the scene that user come to the site, and so after you take all your library, I spent a while to do a build, a minify, and then you need to gzip, and then all the stuff. It's still I guess it 750 kilobytes for this site. This is only libraries, and then it send a request for data, and it's probably maybe 50 or 100 kilobytes more, so it's 850 kilobytes, and well, at 3G it can take up to 12 seconds. So this is when I look on Google Analytics, I have very high it's drop rate, or I forgot the specific term, but when the user comes, after 5 seconds he leaves. And this problem cannot be solved in Angular, but it can be solved in React. So what happens, how it should be done? I had a similar idea when I was thinking about implementing, but then I found that React does it out of the box. So what happens when the user comes to your site? Immediately on the server side, React generates a server-side component with data, and it sends to the user, and the user immediately can see data. At the same time, the user starts, I don't know, reading your article or finding homes, and behind the scene it loads user it's like client-side app needed in order to run and execute a single page application. And once it is downloaded to the user, or in this case uploaded to the user, it finds the component, it mounts itself to the place where it should be. So it compares server side and compares user side, and it mounted, and now it is like waiting for user action. And when the user clicks, for example, to go to from home page to about page, it's already client-side application, single page application. But that initial loading time, this is unique with React. I don't know unique because I heard that Ember also started doing it, but Angular, even with Angular 2, they are not there yet. And so I saw one presentation talk, and this guy is like telling very important how it should be, but they have not implemented, and they have some kind of made up example, but I looked at the code. Well, it's not there, and probably take into the account that Angular team doesn't pay attention to this issue. It's not gonna be similar like React. So, and another, as you know, but for me this two reason was the main. First of all, I don't want to create separately two times server side and client side, and the second one is that I don't want especially mobile users to wait 15 seconds until they start collaborating with the site. Additional advantage it is that Angular this virtual DOM, and it's much more it has much better user experience, and but like I said, for me this is reason number 3. It's nice to have, but it's not crucial for the goals that you are trying to solve with your website. And in addition, that we decided to make several steps forward, that for our task runner we will switch from gulp to webpack. Again, I don't want to involve in any contradictive conversation what is better. Yeah, webpack is better suited for contemporary web development. It's much more flexible, and in addition we are going to switch to ES6 or ES15 and to use this modular approach. It is probably our additional large problem, which is connected to the first two that I mentioned, that when you include in ES5 any library and you load it with Power, you include the whole library, so you pay the whole price, but you're going to use only like 10%, and to optimize afterwards it's much more complicated than if you start to implement everything from the beginning on modular. Then you can say that from Google Material I want to import only card, and then I will download only card. And I don't have time, but another myth about React, that it is only view. It's not true. If you take a look that and take into account relay, it means that React covers the full stack. And even because for me, maybe because I started with MVC like many years ago, and for me models it was always a database, and Angular doesn't have model. Everybody saying MV star, but for me what they have on scope, it's not model. But if we are talking in React using relay, we have our database model, and we have a complete stack. They completely throw it out model view controller and implemented Flux, and we will talk about this algorithm in details. And this is a video. I'm not trying, the goal of this video is not trying to prove that React is better than Angular. In my opinion, it is more suited for our needs for creating optimal user experience, and I would say better user experience. And it's not only for mobile users, but for desktop as well. So it's just trying to show how to develop with React with best practices, and like watch our next tutorials where Svetlana will explain how really set up an environment and start coding. Thank you.